What is going on, guys? This is your boy XQ420. Welcome you back. Another episode, Showtime with the Cube. I've got my co-host with me, as always, the powerful Corey Hughes. Corey, are you doing good this afternoon?
I'm doing quite well. Thank you, kind sir.
Yeah. I feel like I'm doing very well myself. Now, if it's your first time to this channel, don't hesitate to hit the subscribe button. You won't regret it. If you're listening to us on podcast platforms and haven't hit the follow button yet, stop procrastinating. Hit that follow button. We appreciate everybody who's checked us out so far. Today, Corey, we are getting into Andor, following up on episodes 7 and 8. Of course, it brought us back down from our pinnacle episode as far as the height of tension in episode 6, where we had them breaking into the facility and stealing the credits from the Empire. And so this brings us back down to earth, kind of slows things down a little bit as far as these next two episodes. But we start off with episode 7, and we get an immediate look into Karn, which we figured, me and you both figured, that he would have some type of significance in the future. They are slowly building his character back up.
Yes, they are
to have a part in the finale of this. Now, I don't know if he'll travel into the following season, or if they'll wrap his particular arc up with his battle with him and Andor, and his battle as far as moving up in status, because he seems to be a guy who wants to move up the imperial ranks.
He wants to go back to licking the imperial boot.
Yeah, he said, I love licking the imperial boot. He said, and I want my gig back. Of course, this particular episode, it starts with him and his mom sitting around, and he's eating. I'm assuming he's eating cereal. Is that what they eat in Star Wars?
They poured some blue shit in there or something. I was like, what?
Yeah, was it cereal? I don't know. I mean, did you cornflakes? Is that cornflakes?
Space flakes.
There you go, space flakes. Now here's the question: is it just regular space flakes? You got to add the sugar, or do we already have the frosted space flakes? Everybody knows you go with the frosted.
Always.
Yeah, I don't even know why they make regular cornflakes. I mean, everybody put sugar in it. It's just like they just make the frosted flakes. Just kill two birds with one stone. I guess if you like to add fruit or stuff like that to it, maybe add a little fruit to it. So we had that that beginning as far as with him and his mom sitting around, and of course he wants to get his gig back. All right, he's dead set on getting his gig back, and he does end up slipping back into the Empire at a desk job, per se, at a desk job. All right. So we're going to get back to Karn right here in a minute. But after it gives us a slight glimpse of him, we go to actually Monmouth and Luthien. All right. She returns. Of course, she pretends that she's returning the gift that she was going to give her husband back to Luthien. That's the cover story right now. The returning of the gift for exchange, maybe a different gift, maybe a better bludgeoning weapon per se. And I don't think Mon Mothma. Am I saying her name right? Is it
yes.
Mon Mothma? Is that right?
Yes, correct.
Okay. I want to just call her Mon Moth, but I think it's Mon Mothma.
It is Mon
right.
Mothma.
Okay, yeah. So I don't think she was expecting them to go all the way out there like that. She won't in on the plan with Luthien. Not at all.
Not too happy about it.
And that's I was like, that's what's the saying? It said we'll figure out who has the stomach for this. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, hey, when it's time to get nitty and gritty, who has the stomach for it? She wanted to do it more through legal tactics. Let's just say that. She seems like a more legal tactic type of person now.
Correct.
That as we know, eventually changes, but that's the way she wants to approach it right now.
She comes off as very aristocratic.
Yes, very. And Luthien's like, I mean, you weren't ready for something like this? She said, hell no. You just stole 80 million credits. Just like, you just stole a whole bunch of credits. It's like, I wasn't expecting you to do that. Why was I not told? It's like, well, if you were told, you might would have said, hey, don't do that. Instead of, you got to do what you got to do. Luthien, he's the type of guy who likes to take risk. We see that right out the gate. He's that type of guy who likes to take risk in all his endeavors. Now, of course, this one paid out. Now,
yes, he takes risks, but he takes risks with other people and other people's things and other people's money.
Right,
he keeps himself distanced, and that's a trait of that character for sure.
Right. So he seems to be the one that's pulling the strings across the board. We see later on in actually episode 8, Forrest Whitaker's character returns, which he had a key role in the Rogue One movie. So we see Luthien has multiple ties throughout the galaxy as far as people who are in the rebellion and other people who are not currently in the rebellion. And of course, he's trying to get like minds together. How are you liking Luthien's character so far as him tying up the universe?
His character's pompous. His character flies by the seat of his pants, but as I've already said, doesn't take much personal risk. It seems like the majority of risk is offloaded to other people. Mm-hmm. And even the $200,000 that he promised to Andor, that didn't even come out of his pocket. That came out of the money that they stole. So
yeah,
he basically is able to successfully offload all the risk from him. Now, obviously, things can be traced back to him one way or another. But yeah, he seems. That was one thing that kind of irritated me about his character, was that he was so willing to take risks with other people and other people's lives.
Oh yeah. Isn't that the way usually commanders do anyway? People in quote unquote power, they use the other people. They never actually see the battle. This isn't like the old days.
That is true. That is very true.
This isn't the old days. The old days, your king would be on the front lines, or your ruler, whatever, and if the ruler went down, then it was kind of like fight over. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, so yeah, that's the way it's mostly been. Is somebody up there pulling the strings, sending rank and file men and women to actually do their bidding in this. Now, we go through that particular instance right there, and of course we're figuring out that Mon Mothma is trying to gain access to some funds. And does it sound like it's in a trust, if I'm correct? Some type of trust?
It sounded like that was her personal money is tied up in a trust, but she can't access large amounts of it because it'll set off red flags. That's kind of what I got about when she was talking about her money. Right.
And we see that as she's actually, and I need to find this guy's name that she was talking to. Let's see, is it Colonel Euler? No, that's not him. No, that's somebody else. I'll find the guy's name, man. There's so many people in this. It's hard to, I ain't gonna lie to you, it's hard to keep up with everybody's name.
Yeah, and I trust you to be the name guy.
It's like, hey man, I'm putting this all on your back as far as being the name guy. It's like, man, hold strong. Tay Kalma, okay? Tay Kalma, who was an old friend, and he's a banker. Now, Corey, is he Jewish? That's a real question.
I don't know if that exists in the Star Wars universe.
Why not? Okay, I mean, they just call him something. They might call him Whoish. You know what I'm saying?
They produced the saga. Isn't that enough?
Yeah. So they in full production of the actual saga itself, and so we actually have a meeting. Well, she was having a party at her house, and I'm pretty sure that like her and her husband, like they're like distance. They're probably not having any sex or anything like that. They don't. It just seemed like a together possibly, in the public eye.
Right, possibly a marriage of political convenience.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because it just seemed just kind of distant. Because I ain't gonna lie to you. I mean, if I see some dude over there and he's just, real chit chatty with my lady for about 20, 30 minutes, I'm gonna be trying to figure out what's going on.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I'm gonna be around the area, man. Y'all all right? Y'all doing good? I mean, why when I'm fielded in the conversation, y'all been talking a long time, seeing a whole lot of smiles and a whole lot of giggling, maybe an outward embrace. I mean, hey, bud. I mean, I'm just trying to figure out where I stand in this, but it just seemed like, like they almost seem like acquaintances. Like you don't feel any type of like love in between them. You agree with that?
Yeah, and that's probably the way most political marriages are.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see like Nancy Pelosi being too lovey-dovey with old Paul over there. So.
Oh man, you got a good point there, and of course she actually tells Tay that she doesn't trust her husband, straight up. Like she doesn't trust him. So
I don't think she anticipates he'd be down with her, being behind a rebellion.
now of course she
he might want to be let in on that little bit of information. He might be a little upset when he finds out.
Right. She wants to access the funds to kind of push it on the back end just in case her plan doesn't work to actually get legislation passed via the Senate. Of course, she's trying to garner votes to go against what Palpatine is wanting. So we see that dynamic there as far as there are people within the Senate that are anti-Palpatine. All right. Now, of course, I don't think you can go as far as the slander. I mean, the man's got the Force. Okay. I mean, he's a Sith Lord. I mean, man, electrocute you right there on the spot. You know what I'm saying? I mean, he's in Darth Vader. So yeah, that was the main thing around that particular party, with actually access, because Tay is a banker. That's his whole premise. So she's trying to use him to actually access funds that she currently can't access without taking some serious risk as far as like her life. You know what I'm saying? Like her life being taken. Yeah. Yeah, as far as that goes. Now we're going to jump over into Andor, which we see him reappear. We didn't see anything past the last episode. It kind of left that up in the air, how he left the left Vale on that particular planet. He took his credits, obviously, and he returned back to Ferrix. And he actually returned back to get his mom and to get Bix. But they both shot him down. And his mom seemed like she's sick. It's kind of like, I can't leave. So I think something's wrong with her. I think she's sick. And we actually see a little bit of a flashback, which I actually like how they did that, because we never even asked the question when he was initially found. Marva, if I'm correct, that's the mom's name, and Clem, that's the real Clem,
right?
Which is his stepdad. We don't see him anymore, so we just assume along the way he's died, but we actually see how he dies, and it's at the hands of some stormtroopers, and it was kind of just wrong place, wrong time for him.
Yeah,
that kind of stuff happens. But we see that coming back, and that actually brings back hatred actually towards Cassian, because we find out later as he goes and tries to talk to Bix, like, hey, everybody in the city is going to turn you in because you done brought the Empire back. You know what I'm saying? They had left, now they're back and they're stationed here. So yeah, it's still got that dynamic. I'm figuring that Bix is going to have some type of role in the future. What do you think about that? She kind of seems to have to, because we find out that they're a love interest, a former love interest.
Former, and you know what that means in a TV show. Former love interests become current love interests. This is always how it goes. Yeah. But again, they're running out of episodes. So I feel like they should have done something more with her already, but who knows? We'll see what happens.
Yeah, because she kind of seemed like she was going to be an integral part early, and they kind of, after Cassian gets off of Ferrix, they kind of just moved away from her completely, then brought her back. So I thought we were done with Biggs.
Well, she's the hottest chick on the show, so she needs more screen time.
Hottest chick left. Oh man, we got Vale. I mean, shit. We got Deidre. I mean, with those, what kind of britches did Deidre have on? Oh, she got like the baggiest britches around her legs. That's them Imperial britches, man.
Hang on, Mr. Name Guy. Which one is Deidre?
Okay, Deidre is the lieutenant in the Empire, the one who's trying to make moves to move up the rank. She's got the blonde, smooth back hair. Yeah, very stoic.
Yeah.
Very manlike.
No, man, her attitude doesn't warrant me looking at her fucking britches. Let me tell you, she blew that shit right away.
Well, I had to, but I mean, around the thighs, they're like damn clown britches. I was like, man, your britches seem a whole lot baggier than everybody else's around the legs. Now, I mean, maybe it's because she don't want them form fitting. She don't want the men out there to see her as an object. Okay. She's like, I'm not an object. I'm somebody to be reckoned with and treated with respect. Okay.
Well, I can definitely agree with that.
Man said, I concur. I concur, sir. Without a shadow of a doubt. Now, they actually, the Empire has put out a high alert. Okay. High alert for the recent crime. And of course, Deidre has a lot at stake here. And it seems like she is going to, because she ends up grabbing Karn in episode 8, but it seems like she's going to have a major integral role by the end of this season as far as catching up with Andor. Do you believe that to be so? Do you see almost like a team up with Deidre and Karn to actually track down Andor?
No, and I think she got that down pretty. I'm not sure if it was in episode 7 or episode 8.
I think it was episode 8. Yeah,
episode 8. Okay, but she shoots that down. It looks like she, appreciates what he's doing, appreciates his attitude, but thanks, but no thanks. Is seemingly the attitude that she gives him. So who knows? Who knows? Because let's say he backdoors away back in somehow. She's going to be resentful towards him, seeing that he backdoored his way back in. You know what I mean? So,
right.
I don't know. I'm confused as to where they're going with that aspect of it.
Yeah, and she's hell bent on moving up the ranks. This has come hell or high water. All right, and that's no shadow of a doubt. She actually got full reign back of Ferrix from the other gentleman, which I'm gonna find his name, Lieutenant Supervisor Blevin, which is the black gentleman. She wrangled actually power back from him as far as control of Ferrix and all the people there. And so we see that she's got high ambition. She's really good at strategy, and she will step over whoever she needs to step over to move up the ranks. And so we're saying that she's cutthroat, to say the
for
least.
Sure.
Yeah, she's very cutthroat.
But do you think? Because I kind of sense this, that being that she's a female character, they kind of give us this slight sense of vulnerability that perhaps she has a sympathetic kind of feeling towards ultimately the rebellion at some point. I could see that happening.
Oh, so you mean almost like figuring out what the rebellion's about and then maybe doing something to contribute to help them, potentially?
Perhaps, yes. I just kind of get that vibe from her character. Okay.
That could be potential. Hey, that would be a major shift. But you figure that they've lost one the black dude who was in the Empire ranks. So they lost him. So, you figure you'd be trying to find another ally within the ranks to actually, help infiltrate a little bit more, which we'll talk about a couple of things in episode 8 of what we're thinking about what's going on there. But what we see a meeting actually between Vale and Luthien's assistant, and the assistant just pretty much tells Vale to find Andor and kill him.
Pretty much.
I mean, it's just like,
yep.
I was like, damn. I mean,
well, I don't think there's a thing as due process in the Empire.
I mean, where's my due process, man? You know what I'm saying? I mean, that's all I'm trying to figure out. It's just like, this guy helped us. He let me go. He didn't shoot me there. Hey, make sure you find him and kill him. And look, I ain't gonna lie to you. At first, I didn't know who that was standing there. I was like, who the hell is this woman she's talking to? And I looked at her, I said, oh shit, that's Vale. She got makeup on and shit. Like she was caked up with makeup. She had her hair done and everything. I was like, who the hell this broad? This just let you know, bud. That makeup, bud, that transform a woman into a whole different person. Hey, us dudes, we just be walking around looking at dudes. You know what women always say with dudes? Man, you clean up really nice. Not that you look any different. It's just you clean up really nice. Well, a woman can look like Scrags one day. You turn to look the next day and be like, who the hell are you? Oh shit! Oh damn! Hey, wow!
Yeah, like in
totally
like that scene in She-Hulk.
Yeah, exactly. So it's just like, okay, I was not expecting that. All right, and so we see that particular meeting in between them and her love interest, because I'm assuming they're lesbians. Vale and her love interest, which I can't find her name currently at the moment, but I think it is let's see, Clea. Yeah, I think it's Clea. But anyway, her and her love interest, we actually see that her love interest did get away from the actual base. We were unsure on that. So they meet up, and she decides that she will stay on Ferrix and actually look out for Andor, which he's already came and gone. Of course, he tried to take his mom with him, tried to take Bix. Everybody just pretty much said, nah, we're good. And I do give him credit, Andor credit. At the end of the day, he's not a bad dude. Okay.
No, not at all.
But yeah, he's not a bad dude. Now he will do bad things if he needs to. But overall, he's not a bad dude. He did leave money to pay off his debts, so we appreciate that. Left 12,000 credits. And so what do you do after you pay off your debts? Nobody would go with you and live in the lap of luxury. You go to
Coke and hookers, baby.
Another planet. You get you a hooker. That's the first thing you do. Hey, Bo, the minute you get rich, go get you a hooker. I'm just like, hold on a second, man. I mean, the man went from, hey, we can live life in the lap of luxury, like, oh well, might as well go buy me some pussy. I mean, it's just instant. Now he's got his money hid in the up above the shower. So, but he runs into an issue, which is once again wrong place, wrong time. Those folks are just running away. They're just running, and then he actually comes up on one of the officers, and they're like, "Oh, you running with them?" He's like, "No." And it's like, well, you look suspicious, so you're going to jail. Is that how this works? Hey, you're guilty by association, okay? I don't know those guys. Well, hell, I think you know them, so we're throwing you in jail. And, Bo, like you said, no due process, all right? No due process. They just bring you in front of a woman. So what are they charging them for? It's like, well, aiding and abetting, reckless endangerment, you know what I'm saying, stealing. Okay, 6 years. It's just like, bud, I mean, I'm a tourist. That's what he kept saying. He said, I'm a tourist. What are we doing? And, of course, he named himself Keith Grego or Gergo. Man, he's going to have trouble keeping up with all these fake names.
I know, right?
Bo, I mean, my God.
The first thing that I thought when he gets arrested is, goddamn, that hooker made out.
Well, I don't think she knows the money's up there.
Well, maybe somebody did. Yeah, so like, man, that's 180 something thousand credits just sitting there.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Maybe they'll still be there for when he. We're assuming he's eventually gonna have to break out of this prison.
See, the Empire needs Bitcoin. Then he wouldn't have to carry around that briefcase with him.
Damn, that's true. And they actually called the officers on this particular planet. Well, it's a beach resort world of Neomos. Now, a beach resort world. Okay, so that the whole world's a resort.
Like Ryza in Star Trek.
Yeah, that's it right there. And they actually called the officers there shore troopers. So we got stormtroopers, and now we got shore troopers.
The shore troopers, they get to wear the little red Speedos like Baywatch.
Yeah. Is that what they get to do?
But they still got to wear the mask, though.
Okay. Still got to wear the mask. And of course, we see one of those droids that's actually in Rogue One. If I'm correct, pick him up and slam him up against the wall. Because if I'm correct, it's been a while since I watched Rogue One, but they get one of the droids and they reprogram it.
Right.
If I'm correct, when it's one of those particular droids that actually just picked them up and slammed them up against the wall, I said, "Damn, but they ain't no fighting that right there."
Correct.
But let's see what they actually
because he told the robot, "Hang on to this guy," and so the robot's like, "Hang this guy." Oh, okay.
Yeah. So it's just like, okay, hang him. What? Oh, here we go. This is what they charge him with: charges of disruption, anti-imperial speech, which anti-imperial speech is just like that's like anti-Semitic comments right now. Anything anti-Semitic, we're gonna take all your money. Fleeing the scene of an anti-imperial activity and damaging imperial property, and then after he protested judge counsel him against that to avoid the risk of resisting judgment charge. So all that ends up as 6 years in prison.
Resisting judgment.
Yeah. Man, you ever heard that? I've heard resisting arrest. Oh, you trying to resist judgment?
They're giving the government ideas. They need to cut the shit out.
Yeah. It said, can we really get people on resisting judgment? I said, man, let's throw that out there. So, but before you know it, all right, isn't that like how the FBI does it? We can't get you on this one charge, so we try to charge you again for something different. Then we charge you again for something a little bit different, change the word on it. It'd be all technically for the same crime. We're going to get you on one of these. So before he knows it, man, he got 6 years in the slammer. He's just like, I mean.
This is where things got strange for me. Because that motherfucker handled it really well. Let me tell you. I would have had a meltdown. I'd have gotten another 20 years for resisting fucking judgment, okay? Like, how the hell did he not have a total fucking meltdown? Because it didn't look like it. And he gets stuck in the slammer, and a month later, he's still just building Imperial engines. Like, everything's cool. I'm like, what is up, homeboy? For real.
Yeah, he took it in stride. He's like, he's like, hold on a second, I'm just a tourist. Before you know, he's like, all right, guys, sometimes you got to tote ale. You know what I'm saying? And just today's my day to tote this ale. It's just like, Bo, you want to talk about a fall from grace? My goodness, you go from being rich as hell with a hooker to being in jail with a bunch of dudes. Man, that's just like, and I'm talking about in a matter of minutes.
Imagine that. Imagine you just win the lottery and you're on the way to the store to buy a big screen TV and the cops go, "Hey, you look guilty. 6 years in jail." It's like, what?
That's That's exactly the way it went. That is that is the way it went. Hey, people, if you haven't watched the show, y'all think we may be just being facetious, but that is the way it went. He was literally walking, and the guy's like, "Hey, what are you doing? You with them? No, I'm not with them. I don't believe you're lying." To the slammer, which is just like, hold on a second. I mean, I haven't broke one sweat. I mean, you know what I'm saying? And so, hey, I think that's just the way they round up slave labor. I mean, for one
yeah.
They just round up slave labor. It's just like, man, just pick some folk out. We need some more workers. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, that wraps up episode 7 announcement. And also, I forgot to tell you, in episode 7, we hear Palpatine's name.
Yes, we do. That was shocking.
They're actually talking about him around the round table. You know, they've informed Emperor Palpatine about this. I was like, oh, we got Palpatine's name out there. Now, I don't believe that we're actually going to see any of Palpatine, any of Vader.
I hope not. I don't want to see it. We don't need it.
Yeah, I know. Could we get? Well, I don't even think you would get a trace of any of the other people. Leia, Han Solo.
Well, we got Leia. We have confirmation. We have Leia. Yes. And as we get towards the end of episode 8, he calls her by name. Okay. Remember I said a couple weeks ago, that girl who was in his shop looked like Leia. Well, it is Leia. They found an actress who looked like a young Carrie Fisher. They did a pretty good job, too. So, but yes, that is Leia who was in the shop, and that is confirmed in episode 8.
Okay, that slipped right by me.
And remember, she is a princess. She's Princess Leia because she's currently the alleged daughter of Bail Organa, and who is the head of Alderaan. And that's her story. That's where she's connected to as we speak. So she's a princess, and she should have diplomatic duties. So isn't it kind of a dead giveaway to have her just hanging out in his historical shop?
With Olethian.
Mm-hmm.
Well, there you go. That one slipped by me, but that's a good find. It's a good find. So with that, we're just going to go ahead and jump right into episode 8, which is Narkina. Now, a lot of this episode is predicated on Andor in the prison facility, but we're just going to touch on a few other things that were happening at that time, which, as we talked about earlier, Deidre actually confronts Karn because he has been looking into the Ferrix incident, which I don't know how he thought he wasn't going to get caught on that. The man got a desk job, and it's like, man, you're accessing files that you shouldn't be accessing, all right, or requesting access.
Can you believe that office that he's in? Those cubicles? Yeah. Oh, my God.
It's like a chair. It's just a chair. You're just sitting there like that.
A big old workstation all around you. I mean, I wonder what the water cooler around that place is like.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And so Deidre actually picks him up and interrogates him. All right, about what happened there, and that he had filed 6 false requests to the Bureau of Standards Data Center for information about Andor. And pretty much Deidre says, don't do that shit anymore. Okay? That's pretty much what she says.
Yeah.
Hey, I appreciate your due diligence. Stay the fuck out my way. I mean, that's pretty much. So once again, going back to that whole premise of Deidre being cutthroat, and she may reverse sides in the future potentially. We'll have to see how that actually plays out. But it does seem like Karn is going to be very persistent on this until he gets what he wants. I don't know how he's going to. Do you have any idea, or you have any theory about how he's going to be able to potentially move up the ranks to get back in on this particular case?
No. But what I can say is I don't see him stopping his own investigation or whatever the fuck he's doing. Which honestly, it's a little ridiculous. Like when you're a cop and then you stop being a cop, you don't want to go independently research your fucking cases that you were working as a job, right? So like the idea that he would carry this as like some sort of personal burden is ridiculous. That being said, No, I see him continuing, doing what he's doing, getting caught again, and then maybe somehow being brought back into the fold. Or being told to fuck off, and that, pushes him over to the other side. Who knows? We're going to see some alliance jumping. So who's going to be doing it? Who knows?
Mm-hmm. Got you. All right. So we got that portion of it. Then we go back. Mon Mothma is having another party, and Tay comes back around once again, and that's when she has the actual proposal to Tay to actually help her move some funds. And at this point in time, her husband should be getting suspicious. I feel like.
Possibly. I didn't get that feeling yet.
Mm-hmm.
I have a feeling he knows more than he lets on.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I can believe that. Now, Tay allows her to know that the current Empire's new banking regulations are hampering their operations. So we're figuring that they got new banking regulations because of the recent stolen credits.
Correct.
So
correct.
So we're figuring Mon Mothma, one of the reasons she was so mad at Luthien, because it's like, hey man, now I can't do what I was trying to do. You know what I'm saying? Because now they're going to be changing up roles and things of that nature. And so yeah, that she's got a current stronghold over her funds where she can't actually get access to them. Now, the real question is, how much funds does she have? What are we looking at?
I don't know. Does she have more than the 200 million or the 80 million that they stole?
I would have to think that she would have to.
Yeah, I think she comes from an aristocratic family. Obviously, it's probably old money, and she's sitting on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she's got box office seats. You know what I'm saying? Or box seats as far as her house. I mean, it looks like she a great view. Mm-hmm. So you wake up every morning. You wake up every morning to this view. Oh, sometimes it slips my mind that I have such a perfect life. It's just like as she's talking to those two people with her husband, and so it's just like, hey, I mean, they got to have $1 or two. You know what I'm saying? They got to have $1 or two. You have these really uppity bougie parties. It looks like they would put worms in their drink. I guess that gets you fucked up.
I guess there's some like rare delicacy by dropping freaking worms in your drink.
Yeah, but they were instantly dissolved, so I'm not sure what they drank.
It turned to some color. Yeah, I don't want nothing to do with that. That's the predictive programming of you will eat bugs.
Oh man, I didn't even think about that.
Mm-hmm.
Damn.
You're blown away, aren't you?
Damn. There it is. Oh man, I didn't even think about it when I was watching it. So look how easy it is. And these particular bugs that get you tore up. You know what I'm saying?
And it was being done by high-class people, right?
Mm-hmm.
Make you want to do it, too.
Mm-hmm. Corey, I mean, you own to something there. I mean, I ain't gonna take that away from you. You are on to something there. And so I'm figuring that this particular relationship between Tay and Mon Mothma is going to continue. And she's probably not going to be able to have a party every day. So she's going to have to secretly meet him, which I'm not sure how she's going to do that because her driver has changed. Or something. Yeah, her driver's changed. So she's already got suspicion that the actual Empire is looking into actually what she is doing. So it's going to be interesting to see how she's going to be able to keep in contact with Tay and potentially move her funds in the future to help the actual rebellion. And she seems to be the type that wants to help the rebellion through changes in laws. That's what it almost seems like, the way she speaks.
Possibly, but that becomes moot because in the very first Star Wars movie, they dissolve the Galactic Senate. So any efforts on that front would come to a screeching halt by the time that the original Star Wars happened.
Mm-hmm. Right. And we know this. Okay, so this is 5 years early. When is it? is this technically before the first Star Wars?
Yes.
Is
yes,
that right?
remember? Because this leads to Rogue One, and Rogue One led to the original Star Wars. So yes, we're talking a couple of years before. Not too far. We're definitely talking, I'd say 2 to 3 years tops.
So
maybe even less than that.
So if I'm right, they stole the plans of they had already stolen the plans of the Death Star when you get into the first Star Wars. Is that right?
Yes.
Or is that
that's
in between?
That starts in Rogue One.
Okay.
That's in Rogue One.
Okay. All right.
That's basically the underlying plot of Rogue One, leading up to R2-D2 having the plans stored in him, right? And then the movie ends exactly where Star Wars begins. So
okay.
If they pull off this series correctly, we'll have a solid chain of events starting with Andor, Episode 1, leading all the way through the Star Wars movie. So it's kind of good that they're doing this to close that timeline.
Okay. Yeah, because I was trying to think when the Rogue One was, and I was like, is it before or is it after the first one? So
right, and then think
what I'm trying to figure out.
Obi-Wan and Boba Fett is after Return of the Jedi, right? So that's way in the future. It's a couple years in the future, not too far, just a couple. You know.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, there we go on that. So we're going to let's see. So we're going to jump into Andor and at the prison. Okay, Narkina 5. Now, this is a very this is probably one of the best prisons I've ever seen.
Nice, definitely. Although you get your feet burnt if you're not back in your cell on time. So
yeah,
this was an interesting twist because I found the entire aspect of him being in prison rather uneventful. Nothing really got accomplished. All it really did was spent a good solid, 20 minutes or more of the show, possibly even 30 minutes, showing him adapting to life in this prison. That was it.
Which you're figuring he's going to have to bust out. Eventually.
Well, I think they're going to find him, or someone's going to come and do some kind of prisoner transport, knowing who he really is. Mm-hmm.
Which I'm surprised they didn't pick up on it. Like they don't have any logs or
like no
photos,
fingerprints.
No
facial recognition.
Yeah.
It's just your name's Joe Smith. Sure, Joe Smith. Come on, go to prison. Like.
No ID, no nothing.
Nada.
Now, as we talked about this floor, the guards don't have any weapons, but they do have a button. Now they've got special boots on, so it doesn't affect them. But it seems to be some type of almost what we call it, electromagnetic. That's what I would assume it would be to mess with your nervous system, because that's the way it seemed, and pretty much brings. So when they hit the button, yeah, you go to your knees.
It's a taser button.
Yeah. So the floor is a big taser. So yeah, just think of it like that. Think of the floor as a big taser, or if we're thinking about it, actually, it kind of reminds me of that weapon that the government had shown some clips of, where it feels like your insides are being microwaved.
Oh yes, I know what you're talking about. That thing's vicious.
Yeah. So it feels like your insides.
I can see the lawsuits if that thing's ever used in a real fucking protest.
They microwave people out there. So yeah, he's thrown in this prison, Narkina 5, and it's obvious that there's ranks within this prison as prisoners. So you can move up to, and let me get this gentleman's name right. And I think they said he was in another Star Wars movie, if I'm correct. But I can't remember him right offhand. And of course I can't find his name right offhand. I'll find him right here in a second. But anyway, the gentleman who's actually leading them, as far as the construction of of something. Now I'm assuming that this might be the construction of the Death Star.
I don't know. That might be reading
Could we
into it a
assume
little
that?
much.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know.
It seemed as though they're making some sort of axle for some sort of Imperial
For the Death
vehicle.
Star.
Possible. It's totally possible. Maybe that's why it's so secret. And one thing I really appreciated about the prison was that, like, you ain't escaping. They're out in the middle of the ocean. Did you notice that? They had all kinds.
Yeah.
They had a bunch of pods. Just go ahead. Go ahead. They'll get ate. You'll get ate by some space shark.
Exactly. Exactly. But this stuff is crazy, man. Oh, here we go. The manager of this particular unit, which we actually see later on that there's multiple units. His name is Kino Loy, and so every day, each one of the tables, there's different stations within this one space that he manages, and you try to be the best, try to make the most units, and you get rewarded for that. And then if you're at the back, then you get punished. Man, that sucks. I ain't gonna lie to you. It's just like I mean, every day is a rat race. So you got to figure out how to put these particular pieces together in a subsequent fashion, work as a team, and come out on top. Otherwise, you get fried. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, damn. It's like, man, life couldn't be better. You know what I'm saying? They're getting the free labor out of them. So I'm with you on this. It kind of shocked me that he stayed in prison as long as he did. I wasn't expecting that.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, okay, so he got here, so something's going to happen where he's able to break loose, and then it's just like, oh shit, he's still here.
Yeah, so there's no escaping from that prison. So at some point, someone's going to discover who he is. And they are going to have to extract him. But see, they just want to kill him, which is the weird thing. They just want to kill him because they think he knows too much.
Right.
So, but obviously he ends up getting back in with them because it leads to Rogue One, and he's in that. Mm-hmm. So, who knows? Who knows, man? I think
there's gonna be some twists and turns here.
They're doing a really good job so far. I'm very pleased with the show. Through 8 episodes. I mean, maybe a little too much time spent in the prison in episode 8, but next episode he's got to get out. And I mean, period. He has to be sprung next episode.
Yeah, that is one thing I would say. It probably did drag on a little long in the prison because there wasn't really a whole lot happening. It didn't have a ton of development. I don't see any of these other people in the prison to be anything that's going to give us anything long term. Did you see? I mean, I don't even remember any of the people's name at his table. I don't even know if they said their name.
No, the head of the prison looks like Smeagol from Lord of the Rings. Was that him?
It might have been Smeagol.
Might have been. But no, I didn't see anything memorable really about the prison. I don't really see why they're putting so much emphasis on it. Maybe he ends up giving them intelligence about what they're building there, and they go back and blow it up, or who knows? They have a lot to work with. Yeah,
the only reason why I think they're focused on the prison because they're making parts for the Death Star. Okay, so I'm just going back to that, man. It's just got to be. I'm just trying to think of it. I'm trying to think of why. And look, but they got perfect living conditions there. You get a small cot. You get a place to pee and shit, and then you get fed through a tube. All right. And they said if your team won for the day, then your food will have taste to it. I was like, damn. It's like, but it's like, hey man, thank God we'll have our food to taste good today, as opposed to it tasting like shit or just tasting like nothing. So that's how you eat. You suck your food through a tube. And it was kind of random. We see when they go into shutdown, I don't know if those floors are different from the ones that they had them working on originally, but when my man steps on that floor after shutdown, he dies. Like he's dead.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So he like suicide. Yeah, like he suicided himself. So it's just like, okay. The only thing that you could do is potentially steal some boots, but I don't. How where are you going to hide it? You know?
Yeah, I think that that guy probably just couldn't take it anymore, so he dove through the protective barrier, and the floor got him. Yeah, I said fuck it.
He said fuck it, man.
Because it's strict in there, right? So the best table, the fastest table gets rewarded, and the bottom table gets the ass kicked. So
yeah, it's a great day every day.
No matter how good you are, somebody's got to come out last, you know?
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. So yeah, the majority of this episode is him in this prison. So it's going to be interesting to see how he actually gets out. Are we thinking that somebody from the Empire comes and picks him up because somebody figures out who he is? Or do we think that potentially Luthien or Vale or Bix figures out where he's at and
I think they send in some
infiltrates?
I think they send in some fake Empire people to pick him up. That's how it's going to go.
So another mission like that.
Yeah.
Fake Empire.
Yep.
Because it's pretty obvious that all these people don't know each other's names.
But see, if they just want to kill him, why are they going to risk a bunch of people just to go in to get him and kill him? To protect Luthien, really? That's a lot of risk for one guy.
Yeah, you're right. I don't know.
They could spin it though. That if his name comes up, then it puts the whole rebellion at risk, right? So they could go with that angle and do it. So.
Okay. So yeah, but we actually do see, which I was surprised, Forrest Whitaker in this episode. I was not expecting to see him, which his name is Saul Guerrera.
Right, because he turned up being in Rogue One. So when I saw him, that's when I remembered that.
I noticed him immediately. I was just like, oh shit, they got somebody in here from Rogue One. So I'm wondering if we're going to see more people from Rogue One.
We should. I think we should.
Like I said, after I get through this, I like to go back and actually watch Rogue One and see how closely they just looped everything into that particular show. Because this is one of the most of the time prequels are kind of hard to pull off, but I think they're actually doing pretty good with this.
Yeah, this is the best Star Trek. I mean, Star Trek. I watch Star Trek all the time, so it's a Freudian slip. But no, this is the best Star Wars TV show that we've gotten yet. I think it beats The Mandalorian. I think it beats all these because it's subtle, it's gritty, it's in the background. Doesn't have to have universal importance to it. I think it's good. I think it's good.
Got you. Now, it doesn't seem at this point in time that Saul is into the whole rebellion part of this, or in with the rebellion at all. Luthien is actually trying to convince him to become part of the actual rebellion. So once again, it's Luthien. He's got multiple ties with multiple people. Who knows how long he's been actually formating this group of people who were against the Empire to actually bring them down. And so he's actually trying to trade stolen Imperial technology to Saul for his help, pretty much.
Right.
Yeah, so he's trying to bargain with him. Yeah, trying to bargain with him, do a hey, man, I'll give you this stolen Imperial technology. You help out the cause, help out the rebellion. They need a leader like you. And, of course, right now, Saul is just like, kick rocks. It's just like, kick rocks right now. He said, man, I ain't helping your ass, man. I mean, it's pretty much what he says. So it's going to be interesting to see how much more we're going to see of Forrest Whitaker. I would assume that we'll probably see more of him in season 2. Towards the middle to latter parts. That's what I would assume leading up into the actual events of Rogue One.
Correct.
And so, but it's obvious that Luthien's going to have one of the biggest roles. Of course, we don't see him in Rogue One, So my assumption is that he perishes probably towards the end of the middle to end of season 2. That's what I would assume. Because if I'm correct, we don't see Luthien in Rogue One. Right? I don't think we see him.
I want to say we don't, but I'm going to have to go back and check. Maybe I'll go watch that tonight.
Yeah, I don't believe we do, guys. If we're off on that, if he is in it, just let us know in the comment section. Hey, look, man, we can't know everything. We watch so much shit. It's just like it's like, but some stuff slipped through the cracks, kind of like the Kevin Bacon deal, which nobody still gives a shit about Kevin Bacon. So even though, hey, my man left me a comment, it's like, hey, man, y'all got to remember from Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 1. I'm like, dude, what? Volume 1? I'm like, when was that? 10 years ago? I'm like, come on, man. So 2014, whoa, 8 years ago. No, I don't remember it because it wasn't important. So yeah. If he was in Rogue One, let us know. I don't think he was though. He doesn't look familiar from Rogue One, from what I remember of it. So it doesn't seem to be an integral part. Of course, we know Mon Mothma is an integral part in the Star Wars story.
Mm-hmm.
How many movies was she in? Was she in all of them?
She was in the original 3.
The original 3. Okay, all right.
I mean, sparingly, but still, you know.
Mm-hmm. All right. So this seems to be focusing more on her arc and her ability to help the cause of the rebellion. Seeing a whole lot, even though this is Andor's show, it is giving us a whole bunch of backstory into the people who actually helped form the rebellion, which is actually pretty nice. And they've actually got an animated series that we might need to check out, Tales of the Jedi. And they say they actually got some interesting stuff that they actually put in that. Like how Count Dooku went to the dark side and things like that. So yeah, it seems like they're trying to round out this universe and bring some things together. We know that they've had a lot of like comic books and things like that, but I don't know if all that stuff is canon.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't think so. All of it's canon. So I think they're trying to round things out and bring clarity to some things that they want to be canon. And bring us some backstory to some people that they weren't able to touch on a whole lot in the actual movies. So as long as they do it well, we're fine with it, okay? As long as they do it well, or at least decent enough. Okay, I mean, we'll take decent enough right now after some of the shit that we've recently seen. So yeah, that's episode 8. Most of it's like we said with Andor in the prison. It's not a ton going on there. So hopefully they'll give us a little bit of clarity on what's going to happen with him in this next episode. We do see Vale and her side piece. Well, I guess it's not her side piece; it's her main piece. Was it Sento? I think that's her name. Senta. Yeah, Senta Kaz. Golly, boy, it's just tough with all these names. So they're currently looking for Andor, but they're at Ferrix, so he's not there. How long are they going to be there looking for him? We don't know. Are they going to get word that he's actually somewhere else? I'm not sure how they're going to get word, seeing how he's going to buy a complete fake name that he didn't use with them, because they know Luthien knows Andor, they know Clem. Mm-hmm. Now he's Grego. I mean, so it's just like, yeah, it's just like Bo. I mean, he's anybody and everybody currently. So yeah, we've got 4 episodes left, Corey. And so that'll round out November.
They can do a lot.
Yeah,
they can do a lot with 4 episodes.
Yeah, the last episode is a day before Thanksgiving. So yeah, they still got some time. So we still got 4 hours left of storytelling here, to round out this season 1. Do you have any predictions for the next episode of what we could potentially see?
Yes, he's going to get out, or they're going to set up the stage for him to get out of that prison. That has to happen. That's all that has to happen. So that's my call for next show.
That could be the main storyline.
Yeah.
So I feel like that on this next episode that we could probably skip out. We not see any of my Mothma, Vale, Bix, Luthien, any of that, unless they have some type of integral part in him getting out of that particular prison. They could just focus on his whole plan on getting out of the prison, And if it's not somebody who's breaking them out, maybe he figures out some type of way with the actual pieces that they're using to put together whatever axles or whatever they're putting together to potentially help him break out. So it'll be very interesting on this particular escape plan where he needs Sylvester Stallone to help him out. You know, isn't that what they did? They did the escape plan. And what that the movies. So we need Sylvester Stallone to go in there and help my man out to break out of the prison that is never been broken out of. I don't know if they actually say that in there, but I don't see how anybody else would have had the capability to break out. So yeah, that's our thoughts. Andor episode 7 and 8. Let us know what y'all think about it in the comment section below. Corey, do you got anything else to add?
We got to round it up. We got to wrap this thing up with cubes, man. I give it 7 cubes out of 10.
Okay, 7. I can go with that. I'll go with 7 as well. 7. So yeah, solid episodes. Like I said, it does bring us down from the height of episode 6. I kind of like how they build up to that. And then they're bringing us back down to give us another build up towards the end of the season. So you kind of needed a couple episodes to catch your breath. So maybe this next episode, we're assuming it's going to have to be high tension and high stress as far as the prison breakout, which is what we expect to see. I think we may see a little bit from Deidre and her investigation.
Oh yeah, we will for sure.
I think we'll see a little bit of that, a little bit of Imperial background on that. So I think we'll see that. Maybe even she finds out that Andor is there, and it's an extraction in that way. And maybe somebody catches across the airways. Maybe Karn catches it. I'm just thinking of scenarios in my hand. Maybe Karn catches it, and he tries to infiltrate it, and it fools them taking him away, and he ends up escaping. And they get pissed at Karn. I'm just hey, we're just trying to make a compelling story here. So we've got multiple avenues that we can go as far as him getting out of the prison. So it'll be very interesting on seeing how they actually get him out of this one, because it doesn't seem that he's going to be able to do it of his own volition. He don't seem like a prison escapee guy. That's not the type of guy. He's the type of guy. He'll shoot you in the face. No problem, but call a hooker. But as far as breaking out of prison, it doesn't seem to be his forte. So yeah, we hope y'all enjoyed this episode. Anything else, Corey?
No, I think we wrapped it up.
Okay. All right. So yeah, we appreciate everybody for checking us out on this episode of Showtime with the Cube. Let us know what y'all thoughts are in the comment section below. Hope y'all did enjoy this. From your boy XQ420, co-host Corey Hughes. We'll catch you on the next Showtime with the Cube. We've been doing a lot right here recently. A lot of trailers. We've got the Black Adam movie that we reviewed. I'm going to watch a couple more movies. All right, I'm going to get around to Hellraiser. We'll do that. And so we've got a lot of stuff coming you guys' way. So we appreciate everybody for checking us out. And so, Corey, right here in a couple weeks, Wakanda Forever.
Okay.
Weeks. A couple weeks, Wakanda Forever. So I've been hearing some good things about it, Corey.
Okay, I'll leave an open mind. Yeah,
I've been hearing some good things about it. So yeah, be on the lookout for everything we're gonna have coming y'all's way, and we'll catch y'all on the next episode of Showtime with the Cube. Peace out.